Hi, everybody, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hello.
And welcome to Bad Book Week. Today we are starting a new series. We're on the first book with the Gamble brothers tempting the best man.
We love Jenny.
But yeah, although if for some reason you want to buy this book after it, you'll probably find it under Jennifer L. Armentrout, but she published it under J. Lynn.
Yep.
Although the audiobook does
say yes, it does say Jennifer. The version I have.
No, the cover says Jennifer L. Armentrout, but the audiobook says J. Lynn.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I don't. So it's very.
Yeah, I think she started. I think
inconsistent.
She decided to combine. I think she went, fuck it. All of my J. Lynn books can come out now as Jennifer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She at least initially published her adult series as J. Lynn.
But I will say, if you have an Audible Escape plan, you can listen to it for free.
Yeah, you can.
So don't. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But
also,
you can put yourself through the torture. So if you want to put yourself through the torture with us, I think this entire series is on Audible Escape, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, at least 2 of the 3.
Yeah, and if the other 2 books are about the same length, it takes about just a little bit longer to listen to the whole series than it
They're
would
not.
on one book.
Yeah, they're not long.
The next one's longer.
How much?
By 3 hours.
Oh god, this one was 4 hours. This was a good length for a romance novel.
Yeah.
The next one. What's the next one?
Tempting the Player.
Excuse me.
And then the last one's Bodyguard.
Good memento, everybody. Brief intermission. Tempting the Player.
And I think this one will be Chad.
7 hours and 19 minutes.
I started chapter 1 of it, but I can't do audiobooks and take notes at the same time. So I'm gonna have to find an EPUB version of it somewhere.
So the first one is 4 hours, 36 minutes, and the next 2 are both exactly 7 hours and 19 minutes.
So you get more time with Chase and Chandler. No,
I can't freaking imagine why.
Yeah, Chase was fine.
Oh, he was like that. I don't want to be like my dad, so I'm going to be like my dad, but I'm not really like my dad.
They tried.
Okay.
She tried. Okay.
Let's go through characters. Let's get into this.
Let's back up. Okay. All right. So I just want to preface all of this by saying, this is a romance book.
It is.
So, in a lot of the things that we do on Bad Book Week, you know what? No, that's not true. That hasn't been true ever. It's been mostly House of Night. But it's been a lot of Jennifer L. Armentrout. But this is a romance book. And so the way that we're going to talk about it is going to be a little bit different from how we've been talking about books, because romance novels
our standards are very low.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about whether or not it's a good romance novel. And it's not a good romance novel. But we're going to be talking about whether or not it does its job well and why it doesn't do its job well and all that kind of fun stuff. And so in any case, yeah. And so we're going to get into all of that in a bag of fucking chips. So that being said, we're going to do ratings.
Yeah. What rating standard are we doing?
We're doing our food. We're just going to do our food ratings.
Yeah, because Stan or No Stan, I think, is just going to be House of Night or PC Cast exclusive.
Yeah, I think that'll be Cast exclusive.
That is Cast exclusive. Well, because we started doing the food with Jenny.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we got to go back.
Okay. I didn't even think of a food rating for this. I am going to rate it a knockoff not knockoff, sorry, but the worst, cheapest chocolate you could find because you're supposed to enjoy it. You know, it's supposed to give you happy feelings.
I was thinking down the same route. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same.
I was thinking
just disappointing.
more like leftovers that you reheat, but you don't put it in the microwave long enough, so you get those cold spots, and you're like, God, but you're too lazy to get up and put it back in the microwave.
Yes, it is. It is not properly heated leftover lasagna. Because let's be honest, leftover lasagna is nicer than fresh made lasagna.
Oh yeah, that's Italian food.
Reheat it.
Italian food's so good after it sits.
Yeah, and okay, so like I was thinking, like weirdly stale popcorn, because popcorn's not like usually it's not like a gourmet, but it's like a food that you're like supposed to like have fun with, right? And that's how romance novels are. Like when they're well done romance novels, like it's easy reading, it's fun, and you're supposed to be having fun. It's supposed to be like light TV basically. And then this is like stale. And so you're like, I was supposed to have fun today, and then like I fucking didn't. It's like that.
Yeah, all of us went down the same route. Good for us.
Yeah.
All have the same feelings. Okay, cool. So, our characters.
The Gamble brothers.
The Gamble brothers. I love it. I hate it.
Okay, well, we'll start. You know what? We'll do the match check after we do the Gamble brothers, because all three Gamble brothers are in this.
Yes, they are. Well, Chandler's like mentioned twice, but I don't remember like ever seeing him for more than like 2 lines.
I don't remember like the birth order.
Yeah, he had the first conversation with Chase about this. So you want to do a bang? And he's like, no.
We'll get into those conversations.
And then it was
Chad in his conversation.
And then it was Chad later.
Chad's so these books are in birth order, right? Where it's like Chase is the firstborn. Okay.
Reverse. Chase is the youngest, and then it's Chad, and then it's Chandler.
Chase, Chad, and Chandler. They're so easy to tell apart.
Oh, sorry. If we want to go in proper birth order, it's Chandler, Chad, and Chase. And who the fuck goes, hello? Like, I can understand, like, firstborn being like, hello, Chandler. And then secondborn, maybe, hello, Chad. But then when you get to the third one, it's like, Chase is a bit much.
Oh, Chase.
I know that, like, there are people, I understand people who do, like, naming your kids with, like, the same letter. I get that. But, like, you do, like, Chandler, Christopher, and, like, Carlisle. Things that sound completely different.
Yeah, this is Chase, Chad, Chandler.
Well, I went to school with a girl whose family was actually worse. There was 2 girls and 3 boys. It was Alyssa and Alyssa and Elise with an E. And then the boys, I can't remember all their names, but it was something along the lines of Brent, Braden, and Brenton. Or Brendan. Brenton, Brandon, and Brad or something like that. I don't know. It was
that is worse. That's worse.
Yeah.
You win. You win.
The 2 girls was bad enough, and then she had 3 boys and did the same thing with them.
So we've got Chase, who
is our love interest.
Who was our love interest?
Kind of a main character.
He's kind of a main character. This novel's written in 3rd person, and we swap between
the girl and the boy.
The girl and the boy. And the perspective swapping, huh?
I can't even remember the chick's name.
Maddie.
That's right. Yep. Okay.
And
her brother's name was like Michael or something.
She has a brother. Oh yeah, that's right.
He's the one getting it.
I fucking forgot. He's not a person.
That was Mitch.
Oh, his name's Mitch.
That's right. We're tempting the best man because it's her brother.
Her brother's
wedding, and he's the best man at her brother's wedding. I fucking forgot that was the plot.
I mean, with a romance novel, the plot is only supposed to get you from like one sex scene to the next, but also that was disappointing. But anyway,
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But okay, so Chase, owns nightclubs, and that's
Just like
Yeah.
Daddy.
That's our billionaire.
that's our billionaire. Although it doesn't even like come up as a thing.
Well, her parents, she's wealthy through her parents as well, though. So it's not like she's like, you know, little plain Jane.
Yeah.
Although her parents, okay, the parents' backstory is, I think, the funniest one.
It's hilarious.
They sell bomb shelters.
Yeah, they plan for zombie apocalypse. Apocalypses?
Which amused me, and I was waiting for demons to come up. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I
why?
was
'Cause it's
disappointed
Jenny?
when they. Yes, because in her 3 YA series, she manages to have demons and manages to spell them 3 different ways.
Damons?
No, demon.
Yeah, no, doesn't she spell them Damons?
Yeah, one of them is spelled Damon. I think another one is spelled Damon as well. But you can see how that one is Demon. That's the one that's his name, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that has demons just spelled normally. And I can accept that one.
Oh, Jenny.
But she thinks she's cute. Anyway, so I was waiting for it. But anyway, so yeah, so that's Chase's thing. And then also his dad is a man whore. And so
Cheated on his mom.
what?
But also
Cheated on his
apparently
mom.
flawed
Oh, yeah,
in
cheated
all
on his mom.
ways in front of mother.
Yeah, like,
And then-
his dad was a piece of garbage.
And then
Yeah.
so he is like, so I'm a man whore because I'm damaged, but he's not like really.
And
that
my
damaged,
genetics
like-
make me a man whore.
Yeah,
is
he's like,
essentially
I'm
what
a
his argument
genetically
was.
damaged man
Yeah.
whore. But like, you know, here's the thing. I've read a lot of romance novels, and usually, like, the characters don't really go that deep because it's a romance novel. But usually the I'm a damaged man whore is done better because like that's the plot.
Yeah, no, the reasoning for this one, right? Okay. He's been in love with Maddie since they were like teenagers.
Yeah.
He ignored it because brother's best friend's sister, you know, fair.
Like, that's
type
enough
thing.
of a plot. We don't need
Yeah.
man whore plot.
But then when he gave into temptation a little bit once, then he was like, oh, fuck no, I'm going to damage her because I am my father's son. So
Yeah.
I will bang everyone I can to try and unlove Maddie, and it doesn't work. And I'm a nice guy, and I buy all of my hookups flowers.
Yeah.
That's his damage. He treats his one night stands well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, they didn't need to have that layer of it. I think just the layer of, oh, well, like your brother's my best friend, and like I don't want to cross that line. I think that was enough.
Well,
Yes.
it was like Jenny couldn't decide what book she wanted to write. Did she want to write a book where, you know, it wasn't allowed to cross that line, or did she want to write a book where it was like damaged man whore? But then so she wrote both and didn't do either one. Because she doesn't do either one, because both things aren't a problem.
Kind of
The
disappear.
brother plot's not a problem, and we'll get into that. But anyway, so that's
Yeah, and-
Chase.
But we also have that same issue to look forward to in the next 2 books, because they're about his brothers, who are also both man whores for the same reason,
Yeah.
because their daddy was.
Great. I'm so excited to listen to 7 hours of that. So, well, 3.5,
No.
but you know what I mean.
14 with both of them.
Yeah, great. So 7. Okay. So then we have Madison.
Yes,
And
Madison. She
don't-
works at the Smithsonian.
Okay, and I was so worried because they're like, she's a history nerd. And I was like, no! It's my thing. And then it didn't come up, so I was happy about that. So it didn't matter. She doesn't have a personality.
It came up once when she was like, when my brother has his baby, when he has his bebers, I will Smithsonian them. That's about all it came up.
Yeah.
as.
Yeah, and
But
she was
she-
trying to work like twice.
She doesn't
has-
have a personality.
She has a friend named Bridget.
Does
who
she?
Yes, she does. Who,
Yeah,
when
because she talks at the beginning and the end.
yeah, she's talking to Bridget. And Bridget at the end pissed me off so hard. But
Bridget's the one that initiated the roll credits. Thought.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
But I forgot her name because she didn't matter.
no, because she doesn't matter. I
No.
think she will matter.
Usually the best friend character matters.
Well, she will.
Oh, is she like the next?
I think she's the next love interest.
Okay, great.
Oh, great!
Awesome.
We get to see more books of her wearing fuchsia skirts with bright pink tops with polka dots, and it looking good.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
it doesn't.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bullshit.
Apparently, I call bullshit on this whole novel as soon as I read that it looks good. I was like, no, it doesn't. I don't care what your personality is, that doesn't look good.
Lies.
If she was wearing like a fuchsia skirt and a lime green top, I could buy that she somehow made that look work. But not fuchsia and bright pink.
Nope.
So there's her, and then like her brother, so like Maddie's brother and the fiance/wife, who they're just in it for a little bit. We talked about their parents.
Like Lissa or something. Yeah.
I remember that because I was offended.
It's like, how dare you bring that name into this?
I know. I was like, no, you're just not okay.
I think that's really everyone though.
Yeah, and then also we'll get into Maddie's dopey parents.
Yeah. Her mom is
her retarded mother.
Her mom's
Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Her mentally handicapped mother.
Interesting mother.
Her interesting mother. Okay, so
I have my notes pulled up.
I have my notes
ready to go.
I didn't do that. I'm sure I'll remember everything I want.
Tempting the best man. Chapter one. So my first note for this was the thing about the Jalen stuff, but we went over that. So my first other thing was like the framing was sloppy and ham-fisted, but I feel weird criticizing that because it's pretty standard for a romance novel, so it's not like out of place or against industry standards. And so that's like a thing about romance novels, is that normally for like the framing of a book, you don't just walk in like, this is Madison, she is blah blah blah, and she does blah blah blah, like blah 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 blah, blah, and it's like, holy shit, Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't come here to read a Tinder bio. Holy crap. But that's what happens in romance novels. So
like, let's be honest, romance novels are the Tinder bios followed by the sex. That's what a romance novel is.
Yeah. So it opens with like this really like punch you in the face like summary, and it was a little sloppy compared to some of the ones I've read, but it was also not as sloppy as some other ones I've read. I would say it's like it was like middle of the road. It wasn't bad. Like it wasn't like against industry standards. I'll say that. So that part was fine. I would give that like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, and essentially she's just like looking at this wedding invitation about her like finding out that she has to walk down the aisle with Chase Gamble because for some reason she's the maid of honor.
Yeah.
Because Lissa doesn't have any friends, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing that confuses me, right, is why is that a shock to her that the maid of honor and best man are paired at the wedding? Because that is I've never been to a wedding where they're not paired.
See, if anything, it would have made way more sense for her to be a bridesmaid and for her to be upset that she's not walking down the aisle with Chase Gamble.
Yep.
Because
she's in love with
Lissa
Chase Gamble.
Would have had a friend.
Y'all didn't know.
Because like here's what is actually pretty normal for the groom's sister to be a bridesmaid.
Yes.
That's pretty normal.
That's normal.
And the only time it's really normal for the groom's sister to be maid of honor is if the girls were best friends and that's how wife and husband met.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Through the best friend / sister. That's about it.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So, and honestly, like that would have created a little bit more angst. Would have, kind of could have even added in like a little bit more of like dimension, especially if you had made like the maid of honor like a nice person instead of somebody that like she didn't have it in her to hate, just something interesting. Like there's something interesting you could have done there. Like you didn't, but you could have.
Yeah, and if you are gonna have her as the maid of honor, then her and Lissa should have been freshmen in college together because she was a freshman while they were seniors.
Yeah.
And she was her dorm mate.
Yeah, that would have made
freshman
more
year of
sense.
college, and that's how they met. That would have made sense.
Yeah, that could have worked.
But of course, that's not how it's going to work because
Yeah.
No.
And then, because also if they had
much
done
ask.
it, that could have like paralleled her and Chase's situation.
Yes.
Could have been why.
It could have been interesting, and then it would have been in reverse, where the bride and groom would have been the best man and matron of honor at their wedding.
Yep. Would have been cute.
We could have had parallels. We could have had literary devices in a romance, but we didn't do that.
Nope.
No.
Because, see, like, you can do interesting things with romance novels, and I've seen it done. Because you can have fun and be clever, too. It doesn't take a whole lot. Like, romance novels are meant to be stupid fun. They're meant to be like that. But they can be well-written stupid fun.
Yeah, and the well-written stupid fun can take literally an hour and a half to outline.
Indeed.
Like they don't take effort because there's not much plot.
Exactly. We just came up with a plot. Sitting here.
Yeah,
bullshitting.
Less than 20 minutes.
We rolled for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and had plot points, like backstories, the work. Like it was done in like half an hour max.
Yeah.
It was just done.
Yeah, we could just shoot the shit and do it because it doesn't take much. It's allowed to be dumb fun. That's what it is. It's like reality TV, but it can be well done. It takes care, like everything else, and that's okay. You know, that's cool because romance novels. They're not. It's not like I said. It's a book like everything else, so it's not easy to do it well. But
it's not hard.
It's not hard to fix it up. Like, focus, bitch. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
But, so she's looking at this wedding invitation, and Bridget, her friend, is like, get over it, bitch. And she says verbatim, like, that she should go get, another date for the wedding to make Chase jealous. And at least then you'd be having wild monkey sex instead of lusting after your brother's best friend during the whole wedding.
But would you?
No. No, she'd still be lusting over the brother's
especially when it was whatever boring face name dude it was from the history.
I didn't even write it down because it was so like.
And also, like, what best friend would say that to you?
What, you'd be having wild monkey sex instead of lusting over your best friend's or your brother's best friend?
Like, your best friend would know. So
that
they
you're, like,
wouldn't
desperately in love with this man. That you don't want to
so like
they
wouldn't be under any kind of impression that that's what would happen.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is that like Jenny, like always, doesn't know how people talk. Also, I do want to note that maybe you should listen to at least like part of this book, especially if you have Audible Escape, because it'll cost you nothing. Because I'm glad I wrote this down. The narrator in this book is bad, but it's bad in the best way because he sounds the entire time like he's just making fun of the book. It sounds like someone who hated the book read it out loud, and it's my favorite thing.
It's like the thought going through his head the entire time he was recording it was, I can't believe what I'm doing just to get some money.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like, I can't believe I've done this. Like, the entire time. It was great. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, we're on the same page.
I really hope he does the next two. Does he do the next two?
I think he does, because I started listening to the second one, and it was just...
It is the same guy the entire time.
Excellent. Which makes sense, because all three boys are exactly the same.
So... and then she says, who knew calf muscles could be so sexy? And
like she just talked about like his downright illegal dimples.
And then real quick, and then I said someone would have felt at home in 16th century England. I just want to bring that up. I'm a history major.
Okay, there was three distinct places where this book lost me in the first like 10, 15 minutes of listening, and this was on sped up, so I don't know how much that is book like actual time. But the fuchsia skirt, pink shirt combo, that looked good. That lost me there. when she said that it looked like his abs looked like someone had implanted paint rollers in his torso.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of abs described that way, and I'm fine if I met. Like, I've heard of washboard abs, rock hard abs, all that stuff. Great, they work, good image, all that stuff. But paint roller abs, she lost me there. And then when his penis was referred to like it was a sentient being, like cock said yes, but brain said no.
Yes, yes, I wrote that down. Well, I'll let you know what chapter that's in because I wrote that down.
That I know that was when he picked her up.
That killed me too. But also because of the way the guy read it. I actually laughed when that happened because it was funny. Because also Addie texted me. I think she texted the group chat at that point. And I was like, I can't wait to get there. But
because I started reading before y'all.
Yeah, it was the first thing. I only read this yesterday, and like Addie sent that I think about 3-4 days ago, and I'd forgotten by the time I was listening about that bit, and then he was
snuck back up on you, didn't it?
And then I was like, well, she did try to warn me. I can't be.
I did try to warn you guys.
Yeah, but the way the guy read it was like,
it was just so casual.
He was like, Cox said yes. No, Cox said yes. Brain said no.
Fuck
Moving
my
on.
life.
He was like, fuck my life. Yeah, so the sitch is that Madison is into Chase, and
we don't know that Chase is into Madison yet, but
yeah, and that's her childhood crush, and she's so obsessed with him, and we're late for lunch, and then late for brunch.
So we're like, we're driving.
And then our tire is flat.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't read this part. I hadn't read ahead yet. And I was like, okay, so Chase is going to save us because.
That's what I wrote down too.
Obviously.
I said, and her tire popped. Damsel in distress, anyone? Where is Chase? That's what
I was like, enter Chase.
Enter love interest.
Left. Like.
I was initially planning him to drive past and see her.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's going to drive past and be like, skirt! Like, nope. There she is.
As soon as she called her dad, I was like, Chase is right there. He's listening, and he's just gonna yeet on over.
Yeah, and he did.
But also, we're gonna pause. Maddie blew something. Isn't that hilarious? I blew a tire. Dad, I blew a tire. Dad, I blew a tire. Shut the fuck up. Say you have a flat tire.
Yeah.
Who the fuck would keep repeating that? And then Chase gets there, and he's like, I had to, no.
I had to see what little Maddie Daniels was blowing. That was the last line of chapter 1. And
what the fuck is this? Okay.
See, that's a joke that actually I know a lot of guys would say.
Okay, but the thing is, it's hard. I am hard pressed to judge dialogue in a fucking romance novel. I am. Okay, but the thing is, if I were just listening to it on my own time, this is when I would have turned it off and listened to something else, because that is too much stupid for me to take. No,
see, my standards are so low that it didn't bother me.
It bothered
I didn't get bothered until when I texted you guys and I was like, I'm officially mad. That's when I got bothered, because I wasn't bothered this whole time. I was like, oh, it's decent. Nah,
I was bothered by that because it just went on for too long, and the second that Dad is like, you blew what? You would have been like, I had a flat tire.
You would have changed the way you phrased it.
Right, exactly. And
but he would still show up and make that joke.
It didn't make any fucking sense. And I was like, you're trying to be funny, Jenny, and it's not working.
Oh, so chapter 2 is when the thing, when I wrote down is, oh God, Cock said yes by doing something I will not say on the internet. And it mentioned something about it, doing things.
His dick gets hard.
Yeah, and I wrote down, he's super fucking into her. Because we're in Chase's head in chapter 2. And It's weird. Because
Okay.
he like watches her at the gym, and he's
Real
like, I need to
quick.
stop going there.
Real quick. If anyone remembers from the Titan series,
Not I.
Jenny
Omar.
writing men,
It sucks.
that's what you're in for.
Yep.
And it is
although
not good.
That said, though, I do accept it more in this. I accept it more in the context of the genre.
It's not as bad here because of like the genre, but there are moments when you're like, the fuck, you know, is bad. So yeah. Anyway, Lucy and Lake are the people that he's fucking.
Yes, he is. They have banter on the way back because he's like, well, get your shit in my car. And she's just like, oh, fuck. And they have like banter because like they're not close anymore because they almost hooked up a few years ago, but they didn't. So like things have just been awkward between them since.
Well, that's
which
the
makes
thing though,
sense.
like their
Fine.
banter does imply that they're close. Like they banter like they are close.
Because they are.
Because, yeah, they
But there's this awkward thing looming over them.
But they don't seem awkward to me in their dialogue.
They did seem awkward to me. I thought that they felt pretty awkward.
I thought that was a bit of awkward that they were trying to.
They were
cover
trying
up.
too hard to be fine. Yeah, like that's what I got from it. Is they were trying to be okay, and then one of them says something that they could have said years ago, but they can't now. Like when he's like, "Haha, well, yeah, when are you gonna get married?" or something like that, or like I think she said it to him at this point, and he's just like,
Yeah, was it?
"That's not something they can say to each other
was
anymore."
it in the car, or was it later when she's like, "I'll get married when you get married"?
Yeah, like it's
And it's honestly, I think it was supposed to be the like, oh, you know, well, pigs will fly. Like, I'll do that when pigs fly type thing. But it sounded though like, "I'll get married when you get married," like at the same ceremony.
yeah, well, that's how it felt to me too.
Yeah, that's how it felt to me
I mean,
too.
if I said it in that situation, I would have meant it like that. I would have been like, I'll get married the same day and time you get married. At the same church,
location.
same ceremony, same audience, same same everything.
Same bridal party. The only thing different will be the people we're marrying because it'll be each other.
Yeah, like that's how I would mean it. But yeah, so like they get to the hotel and they're like, yeah, so after like they say hi parents, hello, ha ha ha, oh Chase went to like banter because the parents want them to get married and it's hilarious. But they like go to the front desk and the front desk guy's like, so we're like triple booked right now, so you guys are gonna have to share our old honeymoon cabin. I think that's hilarious. I'm off for that.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
fucking
was
great.
for that. I was like, yes, of course
I was
we
like, of course
are.
this has to happen.
Yeah.
This
One
way.
thing that amused me though as well, right, was like I thought Mrs. Daniels, aka Maddie's mother, like I already spoke to her about this. She didn't tell you. You two are sharing a cabin. She said it was fine. She approved.
Yeah.
It was her idea even.
I was like, I
everything that
stand
happens
this.
is the mom's
Well, I
fault.
was like, this is a thing. This is a romance trope. This is
That'd be
fine. These
perfect.
are fine things.
Perfect.
These are things that happen in romance novels. This is good.
And
How else are you going to get people to bang unless you lock them in rooms together?
after the next chapter starts and Mitch, the brother getting married, is like, lol, this is fucking hilarious. Y'all are gonna murder each other. Like, this is
Also, real
great.
quick, I have to make a note. Chandler's voice in the audiobook, he sounds older than Grandma Redbird.
Oh no, yeah, so Chase is the youngest. That's right. Chandler's like 35.
Okay, he sounds older than Grandma Redbird in the audiobook, and it's the funniest thing. It makes me happy. But he's supposed to be like super sexy, so he's
Yeah,
not.
it's supposed to be like 35.
Yeah, I know. But he's supposed to be like really hot because I think he's the bodyguard, right?
Yeah, tempting
Yeah.
the bodyguard. He is tempting the bodyguard.
He's supposed to be the bodyguard, and he's like, "Hello, I am Grandma Redbird," and it's
Yeah,
like,
right? God.
I just had to say it.
Then I wrote down hot. This is comical. So it's like a heart-shaped bed, and they describe it as like a 70s love shack. And I was like, perfect. That's how I imagined it already. Thank you for just confirming my suspicions. I'm like, this is amazing. Love it so much. And then they, of course, because this just happens naturally, get into a conversation about her body count. Where he's like, tell me. And she's like, it's not your business. And he's like, yeah, it's my business. What the fuck do you mean it's not my business? Like, they get into like a thing.
It's like a thing. Yeah, he's cranky that she's had sex. And then he says to her, I wrote down the quote, tell me how many boys tell me, how many boys have you let touch you? And she was like, they were men.
Yeah, that was cringy. That was cringy.
It was a lot.
I haven't let a single boy touch me. And he's like, oh, I see how it is. And then they start making out.
And my note for that, I was like, oh, and then he's like, and then she's like, it's none of your business. And then he's like, it's my business because you're my best friend's little sister. And now she's like extra cranky. And then
because she's like, I don't want to be just your best friend's little sister. I want to fuck.
and he's all like up in her business. And they're like, and then I was like, they're gonna almost make out. And then my note is, oh, they actually kiss. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll critique this. This should have taken a lot longer.
Yeah. But it's a romance novel, so we had to just jump into it.
Yeah.
Well, and then I looked at the timestamp and I was like, I guess if it's only 4 hours, like maybe, but
you kind of have to get into it.
I felt like it should have been like tomorrow morning.
What I wrote down is
I feel like later that night.
Yeah, I think later that night.
I was like, when the couch was really uncomfortable, he couldn't sleep, and she's like, just get in the bed already. And then she wakes up in the middle of the night, he's spooning her, raging boner, and stuff happens.
Yeah. Like he presses like against her, like, because he has his arms, like she's backed against the wall and he has like his arms on either side of her head. And I wrote down foreheads touch, he says no, and he kisses her. Okay, here we fucking go. I was like, all right, I'm in.
Why not?
Also, just to back up a second, Madison has like this internal dialogue where she's like, I've never been part of his conquesting as like during his man whore phase, and I'm upset. And she's like upset about it. And my note for that was first of all, if a guy's in a man whore phase, you don't want to be part of it.
No.
Madison.
Unless that's all you want to be part of. If you are in love with the guy. Unless like that's all you're down for. Like if you're just like, I'm nearly single, I just want to have some fun, like, you know, whatever.
Like, why not fuck Chase Gamble? Like, unless you want that.
But like if you're into him, you don't want to be a part of the man whore phase.
And she makes that quite clear later.
Right. But she's like, I'm sad because he didn't want me to be part of the man whore phase. I'm like, you don't want to be part of the man whore phase. That means he doesn't like you.
Yeah, I will say
Christ.
She did one very smart thing. Like from memory, she said one incredibly smart thing in this entire book. And it was how they got into the, well, how many people have you fucked part. I can't remember how, but somehow he's like he seemed shocked that she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm 25 fucking years old. Like, really?
Yeah.
Do you really expect that to still be the case?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
So
they kiss, and then he's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, he's like, no, I can't. And then he yeets.
Yeah, then he yeets.
He just runs away. And then next thing we see, she's getting fucked up.
And that's
super drunk.
That's standard. She's getting wasty face. And then also, this is a great plot device. I approved of this as well. You get wasty face, he gets mad, you guys get together, and then you do fuck.
But that's not what happened.
Plot beats.
We actually just see the flashback.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, flashback time. I was like, and then I was like, oh, Madison doesn't wear panties. Great.
Yeah, apparently she doesn't wear underwear. That's her character. Like, that's her personality.
That's her character quirk. Great.
I mean, it's a quirk to have.
I'm not going to lie. I've gone out many a time with no underwear on. I have. What? For multiple reasons. 1, I didn't have any clean ones. 2, I didn't want visible panty line. 3, I really wanted to get laid that night. I was like, well, let's just save some time.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, and
But I was younger than her, a lot younger than her. I was younger than you guys. So
like the flashback essentially is like it's the opening of his first club, and like she's there, and then she and him are like alone, and then they start making out, and he's like doing the diddles, and then he's like,
says his name.
yeah,
He
she says
moves
his
his-
name, and he's like,
Oh.
I got a blast.
And he literally, again, runs away.
Yeah. And then he texts her the next morning and is like, I'm so sorry, I was drunk. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
And then he moved into the same building as her.
Yeah.
So then we're flashing back to, so then we're back into the present. Welcome
Yes.
back to the present, everybody. And we're watching her be drunk from Chase's Brian and meeting
Well,
his
no.
brain.
First, the bride is like, you should date Chase. Like, I think that would be a cool thing. And this is such a real reaction. Madison just goes, nope. Can I get more alcohol, please? Oh, hello. You have alcohol. Thanks. Let me take a glass.
And then like she keeps talking and she's like, wait, no, come back. I'll just get 2 glasses while you're
Yeah.
here for
Yeah.
expediency's sake.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly. And I'm like, perfect.
I was
Same.
like, yep, that is accurate. So,
And
but then we're in Chase's brain, and what had happened is this. This is my note in all caps. Oh my God, what the fuck is this male on male conversation? What the fuck?
Yeah, this was weird.
What
We're
the
talking
fuck?
about
Why the
manscaping.
fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Shave your boys? Oh yeah, the
Yeah, they're
Titan
talking about-
series was a thing. Dot
Just-
dot dot.
Oh.
That's the note.
Yeah. And they end up talking about Madison because obviously, and Chase is like, no, like Mitch will murder me. Oh no, he thinks that. Yeah, he's like, Chase, they're like, Mitch will murder me if I date Maddie because of my father's DNA.
Look, I don't know. I've never been a man, so I don't know. So like, I've never had a male on male conversation because I've never been a guy. But I don't know. Like, do guys just like talk to each other like that about the women's?
Yes.
Yeah, like I asked Stixie about this yesterday, and like he's got a younger sister, and I was like, "Oh, would you?" He's like, "Well, no, actually, like, okay, any guy that I was friends with in high school, for example, no. 1, because she's 6 years younger than me, and that would have been creepy as fuck, and 2, even if she was closest to my age, I hung out with deadbeats." He's like, but now if one of my current male friends would want to date my sister, it would be a different story. Like, yeah, sure, I approve because we are friends. If I did not approve, if you were the kind of person I would disapprove of, we would not be friends. So date away. I just don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Like, it would just be, like, you can date her, but we're not going to discuss anything related to sex. Like, the closest thing I want to hear from you about your sex life with my sister is when you are married and you're like, she's pregnant. That's it. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just need to know that you had sex once to conceive. That's it.
Yeah. Other than that, you are celibate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So his brothers are.
It's more or less what you try, like what you think of, like about your parents' sex life.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
parents had sex 3 times to have us. That's it.
So then, like, this guy named Robbie or Bobby, it's never confirmed, starts like talking to
Which I
Maddie.
enjoy.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. And Chase like starts to go, and he's like, nah. And his brother's like, fuck, just go, like, just go after her. Maggie,
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
I was just typing.
We're happy you're back.
Oh, also, yes, we are simultaneously streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So for
That's what
audiences on
I
either
guess.
side, that's what's happening.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the first time that we're streaming on Twitch. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, we'll probably give
we're
some
gonna see how
background
that goes.
about ourselves at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that for Twitch's sake. But yeah, so anyways. Let's so guy with Maddie starts like touching her and Chase is just like, I'm going down there. And his brothers are like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah, go for it. Like, so he like goes down there and she's like, Chase, I'm drunk, fuck, go away. Like, biggest duh.
And he's like, nope.
He's like, we're going to bed.
Yeah, I'm cavemaning you right now, and like if you do not come with me, I will do all but club you over the head and drag you. Just
yeah,
so you're
exactly.
aware.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to go to bed. And he's like, we're going back to our cabin. And he looks at like Robbie/Bobby, and then Robbie/Bobby's like,
I'm just gonna back away slowly.
He's like, I'm gonna run.
So we are officially into romance novel beats, which I approve of this because this is why you have a girl get drunk in a romance novel.
Exactly.
It is only
so she can dirty dance with other guy, and love interest guy can get jealous and say mine.
Yes, exactly. That is the only reason. And it's a good reason. I feel it's a good plot device.
Yeah.
It's
and
a
so
plot
they get back.
It's a plot device that I genuinely don't get sick of.
So they get back and he's like, all right, well, go get dressed for bed. I'm gonna go get dressed for bed. And then he like goes to the bathroom, gets dressed, comes out, and she's just still sitting there. And he's like, what the fuck?
First she sits down in the middle of the road.
Yeah, she does a drunk girl.
And he's just like, what are you doing? And she goes, I like to sit in the road when I drink. And he's like, how many times have you done this? And she goes, a lot.
It's very cute. It's good.
And then he's like, I'm going to pick you up. And she's like, I can walk, damn it. I was just tired. I'm fine now.
It's
you know what,
drunk
though?
girl.
You know what, though? That drunk girl was done well.
It was done well.
Drunk girl is done accurately.
Drunk girl's done accurately. Then she gets back and I have this written down. LO fucking L. Of course, she sleeps naked.
I said, oh, good. She sleeps naked. And she's drunk. And he's like, Lord, please save my cock. Literally, that's like what he thinks.
Yep. Thank goodness she was wearing a strapless dress.
Yeah. So she's too drunk to move. So he like takes off her dress, like puts one of his shirts on her, and then takes off her dress and discards it. And then she like hugs him. And she's like, I miss you. Like, I miss us being friends and I miss us being like this. And he's just like, baby, I know, me too. And I'm like, why are you calling her that? Like, what are you doing? I was like, that's cringy. I don't like it.
The baby came out of left field and I was like,
yeah, same. And also, we keep giving guys advice on this, but I feel like we should continue the trend.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Real quick, if you have a drunk girl, and you feel they won't remember things, the one thing they will remember is that.
Yes.
And then they will be hungover, especially if it's wine.
Oh.
And because we'll get to that. Wine hangover is the worst, and she portrayed that well. That was done well. Fuck wine hangovers. They're awful.
Yeah.
They are.
And they'll remember that one thing, even if it's blackout, okay? So
they
don't
remember
do that. It's rude.
Calling her baby, yeah.
We are drunk, and you can't do things like that to us.
Like, even if you want to do a girl but you're like, or like you're actually in love with a girl, whatever, but you're like, no, it would be unwise for whatever reason, do not pet name her.
Never.
Unless it is a long-standing nickname, for example, like just say,
baby.
Like if he had been calling, like for example, if her nickname was Shorty because she was the youngest of the two, like the group. If her nickname was Shorty and he called her Shorty, then that would be fine because he's been calling her Shorty for 20 years. But not baby, not sweetie, not hun, not sexy, not babe, not love, nothing. Okay, a pre-established nickname that everyone calls her, or her actual name, or no name.
Yeah.
Anything
I miss you
that
too.
is rude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote down, ugh, fuck, he's in love with her. And this is like, I need them to just get together. I was like, I'm done. Just
yeah.
We're over.
Yeah.
Like, they just get together already. Like, this
but then
is
the
cute.
next morning, she's got a wine hangover, and girl,
she's hungover, and there's tension between them.
I feel you.
And they're doing a vineyard tour.
Also,
yes, and then another
dating
amazing
shot.
romance. novel.
She needs a shot like crazy.
She does. She needs to drink a beer.
Yep.
Just
That
drink a beer.
reminded me of the day that we were. Side note. That reminded me of the day that we were at the restaurant. It was someone's birthday. We'll call her Sarah. It was Sarah's birthday, and we were with our friend John. We have so many people named John. And he was
John
very.
was hung the fuck
He
over.
was hung it over, and everybody at the table was just shouting, "John,
just drink a fucking
drink
beer,
a
John."
beer," and he
And
wouldn't.
John's like, oh, I can't drink a beer. I feel so shitty.
And we were like,
Well,
John,
have a shot of vodka. Have something.
like, you just need to drink some booze and you'll be fine.
you're like, John, have a beer.
Like, one time before SDA and I went to a concert the night before, we got plastered. And the next day we were so hungover and we were like, okay, we just got to drink a beer. And it was the worst thing we've ever done. But we did it and we felt great.
We were like, we're ready to go. Because we had tried everything
think-
else. We had Olive Garden, we ate bread, and we felt good while we were eating the bread, but then not afterwards.
And if you don't feel like your stomach can handle beer, because I get that, it's very heavy. It's
Just a
very
shot of vodka.
Yeah, just shot of vodka, shot of tequila, shot of rum, shot of anything. Because, they're short, they're sweet, they're not carbonated, they're not yeasty. It's just, you just need some
Drink
booze
some
back in your
freaking
system.
booze.
Speaking of booze, I might go get a cider.
I
Go for it.
just boozed myself.
I have my booze over there. Yes, for those who don't know, when we do bad book weeks, we have to treat ourselves because our brains hurt. It started because of House of
And
Night.
like we said, at the end of the stream, for the Twitch people, we will explain ourselves.
Yes, we
But-
will. Why we think we're so high and mighty enough to review these books.
Yeah. Yep.
But an amazing
cetera.
plot device happens right now.
Yes.
Amazing, and I love it. So they get like lagged behind, like not purposefully, and they get locked into this cellar together.
I like it.
And I love it. I love it so much.
I love it when romantic interests get locked into rooms together. It makes me happy.
Because it's the only way to get people together.
It is. In real life, we should do this more.
No, in
I
real
feel.
life, that's how I try to get friends together. That I'm like, y'all should date. I'm just gonna leave you two alone in a room together and tell y'all I'll be right back, and then never come back. That's what I do.
I have seen her do this. She will lock the door.
I just yeet.
She's diabolical.
I am.
But
She was wise before you.
she
moved
was,
on.
and then she
She's very
said,
wise.
"You act like you kissed Adolf Hitler."
Yeah.
And then
That's
I
weird.
was like, I don't want to side with Madison, but then they almost do a fuckadoodle and then cockblock.
Dude, it got weird. First, so he mentions the kiss, and she's like, "Oh, well, you must think I'm ugly," and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and she's like, "You're a butt," and he's like, "Fine, you know what? Fuck you. Cool. We're just gonna be mad." And then he's like, "Nothing. That has nothing to do with this, and I will prove it to you." So he like pushed her against the wall, and he's like, "Does it feel like I'm not into you?" And she's just like, "Oh shit. Okay." You're right, buddy.
Oh my.
And so yeah, they start like
Again,
making out,
That is
and
also not the way you get a girl to think that you're not interested. You do not say, every time I'm with you, I have this raging boner. Feel it, bitch. But
Let me
we
just-
can't be together.
Put it
That's
up
how
against
you
your
do
leg.
it in romance novels. I can't count the amount of times I've listened to that though. It just
No, I know, but you don't be like, of course I'm into you. Here's my boner, but I don't want you. I can't be with you.
yeah, and they like make out, and like he starts to do things, and he's like, "You really gotta start wearing underwear," and she's like, "But it's really convenient in times like this." And like
It is.
it is, but
And,
then
like-
she's also got a point there.
and like
Just
nudity
not wearing
starts.
underwear again once they get together. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Nudity starts happening, and then there's footsteps, and they're like, shit, like, put yourself back together. And his brother's like, what you doing there, guy? His brother is like me in this situation. He'd be like, that's where you were. Ah, I wonder what y'all were doing down there. Like, I love it. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's great. It's hilarious. And
yeah, because brother, because he was like, I thought you locked us in the room for a reason, and now I'm upset. And so then they're folding programs because they weren't folded ahead of time. That was my only problem with
they're getting folded the night before the wedding.
And I was like,
it was a plot device to get them in the same room to talk about it.
I know, but you could have done it another way. I was like, no woman would allow this.
Oh, sorry, 2 nights before the wedding, my bad.
Well, first what happens is, like, the brothers are like, and the mom's like, you two need to just get together already. Like, the mom's point blank, like, you two need to just like call it an afternoon. And so, like,
just need to be grandbabies. Come on.
And then later when they're folding programs, he's like, oh yeah, your mom told me to come help you. And then later he's like, no, I asked your mom where you were, and she was like, she's alone in a room by herself, you should go.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like,
Mom's not wrong though. They both want to do each other. It's not like she's the kind of mom that's like, hi, you know that really fat, unattractive nerd down the street? Like, that
exactly.
we know
Mom's
we could
like,
trust you with. She's
Mom's like, you're
no.
both hot. You need to just.
You're both hot. You both have money. We've known him forever. You just get along. He's already part of the family pretty much. So just make it official.
Make it official.
Yeah. So.
He also almost thinks the phrase "he loves her." Like he almost thinks that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's the thing that happens.
Yeah, you do.
So they're folding programs, and then he's like, when you get married, oh, never. You, I'd never stick my dick in you.
Yeah, because he's like, well, obviously you're going to get married to someone. I'm not getting married, but you're going to get married to someone. And she's just like, well, obviously that means you don't like me.
And I'll be so happy to see you happy with another man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I don't understand why that's a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, so then she like leaves him in the room, and she's going to go take a bath for another great plot device that I loved so much.
Oh, God.
Because, they're living in the same cabin together. And she's like, I'm just going to go get naked in a bathtub. And he's just going to walk in.
Yes, and he's like, we need to talk. And she's like, I'm in the bath. And he's like, I know that. And I was
she's like,
or open the door, but I just couldn't wait.
She's like, right now? And he's like, yes, right now. And she's like, but I'm naked. She's like, oh,
so there's a bath. And then Chase does a diddle. And then
yes, they like hardcore do some shit.
He does a diddle.
He does a lot of it.
He does a lot of diddling.
Third
then he's like, let's have a one-night stand. And she's like,
yeah, like the way he phrased it, because like he goes down on her, makes her come twice, and she's like, and then they have a bit of a snuggle, and he's like, we still need to talk. And she's like, wait, what do you mean we still need to talk? I thought we were, doing stuff. And he kneels in front of her for this proposition. He's like, so you want to do me, I want to do you. Let's great.
Do it.
So let's just get it over and done with so we can just go back to being friends.
Yeah.
But he literally said the words, let's get it over with.
Let's get it out of our systems, yeah.
Yeah, and she storms off and he's like, what did I say?
She's like,
what did I do wrong?
She's like, let me get this straight. You don't want to disrespect my brother by being with me, and you don't want to treat me like your dad did your mom, so you just want to fuck me and yeet. And he goes, and he's like, I'm like colon and lowercase o, because it was just like, surprise Pikachu. He surprised Pikachu's her ass. And then she bitch slaps him. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. I stand a good bitch slap in my books, man.
And then she fucks off.
And then she fucks off.
Yeah, then she goes away.
And then, so at the night, everybody's very sad. Everybody's all depressed because they had a fight. and then Chad is like, "Hey, you like
He's like, I'm
Maddie,"
gonna stab you,
and
unless
I'm
you get out
calling
of your ass.
bullshit. And then I was laughing so hard at this conversation, because Chad says, "You should be doing what your heart says," said no man ever.
Yeah, it's like it just reminds me of She's the Man. It's like, what does your heart tell you? I mean, which one do you want to see naked?
Yeah, like this conversation
Yeah.
was the most hilarious thing I've
Well, 'cause he
ever listened to.
Chase was like, when the fuck did you start watching Oprah? And his brother's like, that's not the fucking point, dude.
No, like this conversation was like the dumbest thing. Like, okay, like I said, I've never been a guy, and I've never listened to male on male. I've never been in a male on male conversation.
Yeah,
but I feel like this has never happened unless it was two gay men talking. Not to be very stereotypical.
It does happen. Because, like, what my boyfriend told me.
Yeah. Thematically, I think it does happen, but it's not like, what does your heart tell you? Or do what your heart tells you type thing. It's, look, do you
just
love
do
her?
it. Yeah,
that's what I mean. I feel like it's like that, not like the way it was. That's what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
Not, I feel like it's more like, stop being a fucking idiot. Bye. Like, rather than.
If any male tried to tell Stixie to follow his heart, if it wasn't his grandfather, and even then he'd probably still do this, he'd probably punch them for being a wee bit gay. Not that he's, oh god, that sounds really bad. He's not a gay basher, I swear.
For being too emotional about it and being too, he
he
doesn't need someone to be like, follow your heart.
Conversation.
He needs someone to be like, get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, he's like, I need you to punch me into doing common sense.
That's how men are.
Share periods together.
Like my boyfriend didn't want to ask me to be his girlfriend until someone was like, you're being a dimwit, dude. Fucking ask her to be your girlfriend already. And that's how I'm in a relationship now.
Go do it.
Yeah, it's not like, follow your heart and do what the stars tell you.
Yeah, it's different.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Not like they don't have conversations. I mean, like, it's not
they
like an epic speech. Because this was like epic speech, like with tonal music, and it was like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Let's be honest as well. I've seen that kind of conversation happen between women in TV shows and movies, and I've read it in books. But I also think that I would be uncomfortable if someone told me to follow my heart, because it's just not a thing that's said outside of fictional media.
Well, whenever I ask you guys for advice, I literally walk up to you guys and I'm like, can you just tell me to stop being a fucking idiot? And you guys go, stop being a fucking idiot. And I'm like, thank you.
That's it. That's how actual girl conversations are.
Yeah, the closest I come to telling you to follow your heart is like, stop overthinking shit. Your brain's being dumb.
Yeah, I'm like, can you please tell me that girl brain's being an asshole? And you're like, girl brain's being an asshole. I'm like, thank you. That was very helpful.
Yes. Yeah, it's not so much follow your heart, it's just stop listening to your fucking brain because she's stupid.
Yes. Girl brains are awful. Mm-hmm. They are not nice.
No man understands what girl brain is like.
Yeah. When it's like, if it's like a girl, instead of like, start thinking, it's like, stop thinking.
Yes.
That's the best advice you can give a girl.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But anyways, after this conversation, like, we pan to her perspective, and so she's getting ready for bed, and she's gonna act asleep, and then Chase walks in, and he's like, listen, I'm sorry I was a dick. Like,
my bad.
I was an asshole. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And so, like, she starts to touch his face, and then she's like, stay.
And then she throws him on the bed and straddles him.
Yeah, and she's like, I want to fuck. And he's like,
no,
are you sure?
She wants to make love.
I hate that phrase more than anything.
Well, that's what she says. She's like, make love to me, damn it.
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate that phrase.
So then he pounds the shit out of her, and then pounds of doggy style.
No, no. He makes love to her doggy style. That's what he does.
No.
Also, I didn't highlight this, and I feel that I should.
Yes.
Drinks the booze.
Okay, So I'm going to paraphrase the scene, right?
Yes, do it.
It's effectively, he pounds the shit out of her from behind. And then she's lying there thinking, the way we just made love touched a deep part of him, I can tell. And it's like,
no, man, y'all fucked.
that is dirty sex. What you two just did, not kinky, just dirty. That was dirty sex.
Yeah.
That was not making love. And guess what? No guy in the history of the world has had dirty, like fucking dirty, filthy sex with a girl and gone, you know what? That touched like the deepest part of my heart. I'm in love.
Yo, because he's already in love with her, so it's fine.
Yeah, but that's like
no one has ever referred to doggy style as making love.
That's 10 years of pent up sexual tension sex.
That is right there.
And that's okay.
Yes, no, making love is the nice, sweet, tender, generally missionary style sex. With lots of gazing into each other's eyes and lots of just sweetness.
Yeah, just sweetness. That was 10 years of pent up sexual aggression.
Yes. That was getting that out of the way so that then now in future they can make love.
Yeah. They had to get past it.
Love was not a factor in that rub. And also, okay, I have to say, so we've now had him going down on the scene and the double sex scene, right? And that's pretty much it for the sex in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's over now.
And I will say, I mean, not gonna lie, I don't read romance novels to get off. I don't actually read romance novels unless it's for this, pretty much. But it just wasn't
enough
romance. No, it was like, and it's not even about the limited number of times that the scenes happen, because you know that I can live with that. That's fine. It's just the scene was just like, so like the first time they had sex was only like a couple paragraphs at most, or a paragraph, and then it was, and then he flipped me over and we did it again, and that was it. And I was just like, this isn't a romance book. That is a Fade to Black book.
Yeah,
much.
like
yeah. So like, because I like I listen to so many audiobooks, and because you know you only get like one Audible and one Kobo credit a month. I have Audible Escape just because it lets you download so many freaking books.
You get 10 books.
Yeah, you get so many books. And so I listen to just a lot of romance novels because with romance novels, like you're not going to get emotionally attached to anything. So it's like watching reality TV.
Yeah.
Like it's just like mind numbing stuff. Cause like with good books, you're going to get like attached to characters. You might cry and like, I don't always want to cry. So romance novels are just like a good way
to watch a train wreck.
To like just watch a train wreck and not have to listen to any and like not have to give a shit. So I've listened to like a number of them, and like compared to other ones, it's like there are romance novels where the plot plays a much bigger role.
Yep.
And even then, like the sex scenes
are they more vivid?
It's not necessarily that, but like they feel like they matter more even if like they're not as vivid, they have like more impact. Whereas with this, it almost felt like a YA sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt
agree.
like a slightly uncut version of a YA sex scene.
Yeah.
It felt like the not to bring it up, but I'm gonna the Stevie Ray Raphael sex scene.
Yeah.
I think that had a bit more detail.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah, like the sex scenes were like weirdly not detailed, and in a book where like that it like where the romance is the plot.
Yeah.
It's like the sex
scene is the point of the book.
The category that you're in, it's supposed to be erotica. And
like
we've said, that's not the purpose why we're reading this book.
Is supposed
obviously,
to be for a bunch of like the target audience for this book is bored stay-at-home mothers who don't really have a sex life anymore.
Yeah.
And as a stay-at-home mother, I can say that I was not pleased with as the target audience. You know, like I was displeased with the lack of sex description in the book.
Well,
Yeah, because I mean, like we only have 3 chapters left now.
even if it's
We're at the end.
even if it's not like well described or like you don't go into too much detail, you can at least like
usually it's still at least the meta like there's if they don't go into like hardcore play by play, there's usually a lot of sexual metaphors and innuendo around the sex scene.
and at least with that, like at least with like the first one, when you get into like the just this feels weird to talk about, but like when you get into like the flipping over, like the changing of positions, usually for the first sex scene, you don't stop. You describe the whole sex scene because it's the first sex scene. Like you don't start fading to black until we've done like 5 sex scenes and you're like, you get the point, moving on.
Yeah, like even the scene earlier when he was going down on her, that usually gets a hell of a lot more description than romance novels.
Mm-hmm.
That was like over in like 2 sentences.
Yeah, it didn't go on for like anywhere near long enough.
And again, I'm not talking about for my own personal pleasure because this isn't how I get off reading romance novels. It's not. But for a romance novel, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, just like a structural critique of it. None of it went on long enough. Like, I think even like structurally, like when they kiss for the first time, I think even like I would have been more okay with that if like the build up to the moment had been longer
because it was just like wall, mouth,
or even if it hadn't been longer, but if it was, or even if it had taken the same time frame from the character's perspective, if it took us an extra 2 paragraphs to get there.
That's what I mean. Like it needed, like we never spend enough time during like their physical intimacy moments, which is one of the major issues in this book. And
I'm hoping
like, there are
that
a lot
the
of
extra
issues.
I'm hoping the extra time in the next 2 books fixes that issue, because I think this was her first romance novel that she wrote as well. I think this was her first one.
Yeah.
In which case, if she fixes the issues in the next 2, then I'll forgive her a little bit for this one.
Yeah, because I found that like 4 hours, like the 4-hour ones are usually not that great. Like where 6 to 7 is usually pretty okay. Where you get into like 9-hour ones, you get into too much plot.
Or like, it's like 50 Shades of Grey where there's at least like 1 full sex scene a chapter.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
Whereas like 6 to 7 hours are usually like the better ones. Or 7 to 8. But yeah, like this was just bad. But now we get into the next morning, we wake up, Chase is not here.
Where is he?
This is when I got pissed the fuck off. This is when I got mad. So I was like, there's no point for this. There's none. There's none.
This had to be the breaking, like this is like
in all romance novels, they have to break up.
And this is what it was. And it could be rectified by him leaving a note.
When the glasses come off, you know I'm not happy.
Or it could have been, she wasn't, let's be honest. She's known the guy for like her entire life, right? She should know well enough to know that after the misunderstanding they had the day before, he wouldn't have taken the previous night as a wham bam thank you man.
Yeah.
She should know that. So she should have been like, the fuck? And he would have been like, oh, I was just getting better room and new flowers. Here you go.
It was a very simple conversation and he shouldn't. So like essentially what happens, she's like, well, bullshit him. He left me. And then he comes back to the cabin. He's like, oh, she left me. And I'm like, no, you dumb bitch. Any real man would be like, oh, well, she's probably just confused that I left. So I need to go talk to her and just set the record straight.
Yeah, but he didn't.
And when he like quote unquote tries to, she's like, I just want to be friends. And he should have been at that moment like, no, bitch.
You don't.
No. But instead it takes 2 chapters for him to finally track her down at work and be like, I know you don't mean it. I love you. Fucking kiss me.
I was just getting us a better room. I don't
Like, that should have been a conversation.
The issue was over at that point, which is why he went to get the better room. The other wedding party.
Or he should have just fucking waited until she woke up. It was stupid. Yeah. It's stupid. I'm not happy.
I mean, that said, though, it is a very common, I don't know if this happens in real life, but I do know in a lot of TV shows and stuff like that, especially if a girl, there's been a misunderstanding with a previous guy or a girl's had a bad experience for, and then she had like sex with the new guy. She wakes up, he's gone. She starts freaking out like, where is he? And then he walks in with some coffee.
Yeah.
And some breakfast. And he's like, here you go. I bought you yums. And she's like, oh, okay. I was just being silly. You know, she should have stuck around for him to rock back up with the flowers and whatnot. You know, she should have, and she didn't because she's stupid. That's how these things go. She should know better. She should have preemptively known. But that's another thing as well. And this isn't a criticism of this book specifically, because again, this happens a lot. Like where someone goes to make a confession to someone, and then someone starts talking, and you're like, "But I need to tell you something," and they're like, and they start saying stuff that you know is a result of the misunderstanding you're trying to rectify, and you just let them stand there and keep talking and walk away. It's like, no, you interrupt them, you tell them to shut their mouth, you have something to say, tell them they're being stupid, this is what actually happened, here you go. And Chase didn't interrupt her, and he's stupid, he should have. And I'm done.
But we have to have a book.
I know.
And like, look, you have to have a conflict for them to break up and do the epic get back together, or else there's no
But also the epic get back together was just kind of like, because the book just ended right there. And I was like,
Yeah, like it ended with, I love you, now let's go get naked. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, and then we're going to go tell your parents that we're getting naked together. And then the book ends.
Yeah, and I was like, no, don't end it down.
Yep.
He's like, we owe it to your parents to tell them to their face. And it's like, I think they'd be cool with just like a text. We'd be like, hey, Mom, Chase and I are doing the dirty now. You happy now? Bye.
Yeah, and Mom would do a happy dance. And
yeah, like that would be different if like the mother was like, I don't think that Chase is the right fit for you. I think you need to get over him. Yes, that's when you go and tell parents in person. But when Mom literally orchestrated you two sharing a room for days, you don't need to make the 40-minute round trip to go tell them. A phone call would suffice.
But here we are. So,
and that's pretty much the book.
Yeah, like the rest of it's just kind of like garbage, where it's just like angst, and then he just shows up at her work, and Bridget's just there. Remember Bridget from chapter 1? She's just there watching and commentating on the whole scene, and I'm like, literally, go the fuck away. You're pissing me off. Like, just leave.
Yep. Oh, because also what brought him to his senses was like her brother is just like, so why are you not fucking my sister already? Just go do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. First the brother. Yeah, the brother is like, why aren't y'all dating?
And he's like, you can date her. And Chase is like, oh, I fucked up. She doesn't love me though.
And then brother is like, you're a dipshit. She's been in love with you literally since she was 3. So off you go. Run along. Go. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll go. Cheerio. Farewell. And then he goes and gets the girl. And then they tell her parents and the book is over.
Yep.
Because that's how we want all romance novels to end, with mention of the parents.
Yep. So this book has a lot of structural issues.
Yep. A lot of pacing issues.
A lot of pacing issues. Like, a lot of things that could have been easily solved. A lot of things that if I didn't have to force myself to finish it would have made me put it down.
Yeah, I mean, it did help that it was only, like, listening to it on double speed, it literally took 2 hours to listen to, so.
Yeah, that helped significantly.
Yeah, I think it only took me 2 hours to read it.
Yeah, it wasn't long enough to be, like, super duper painful.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the next one fixes a lot of those issues, because if you have to listen to...
Just based on length alone, possibly.
I'm hoping it does. Yeah, I'm hoping the extra length is literally just adding a few more paragraphs to the scenes that needed it.
Yeah. But
because also I think it did establish in this one that Chad, the middle brother, is the most like their father in terms of sexual conquest.
And he's the player that we're tempting next book.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
so
are we
Chad next book?
I guess we are tempting these people.
you didn't feel like it.
But like, because Chase was just already in love with her.
She tempted Chase by getting her luggage out of the trunk in a pair of shorts.
No, it was like yoga pants.
I thought it was shorts. I thought it was okay. Either way,
like that was the temptation, and then they had to share a room, and that was the temptation.
And she's like, "I'm so drunk and I sleep naked." You know
and
what?
That
though,
was the temptation.
I'm very glad he didn't do a move when she was
so
drunk
same.
in traffic.
Typically, romance novels are actually pretty good about that.
You know, I do approve of that.
Usually the plot device is not they do like a sex.
They get drunk and do stuff. Because like even with the flashback scene, they're like, look, we've both been drinking, and she's like, but neither of us were drunk enough for that to be an excuse for what happened. She's like, we'd only had a few drinks. We were tipsy.
Yeah.
We still knew what we were doing.
And she even said, she's like, it was kind of an excuse. And then he later says, yeah, it was completely an excuse. Like, I wasn't actually drunk. I just wanted to do that.
Yeah. So that was the book.
Book.
Next week is Good Book Week. So Bae and I are doing, what's the next book in the Bloodline series?
I can't remember. I think it's the Indigo Spell, maybe.
We're doing the next book, the third book in the Bloodline series, which means that we are halfway through Bloodlines. So
yes,
the
next one's Indigo Spell.
Yeah, we're doing Indigo Spell, which is the third book in the Bloodline series, and then the week after that is Bad Book Week again. So Addie will be with us, and we will be doing the next book in the series, which is Tempting the Player.
We also, housekeeping things, we also have some big things coming for book club.
Yeah.
Also
eventually, we did forget to do our standard disclaimer at the beginning of the stream, where it is not spoiler-free book review with Bae. It is book club.
Yeah. We should have probably said that there are spoilers, but if you really wanted to read this book, I mean, you'll still, like, we don't do an exact, like, line-by-line read of this book. Like, you know, so, like, if you really want to go read it, you'll find things we didn't talk about.
Yeah, and let's be honest as well, it's a romance novel. You know at the end,
what happens.
They're going to have sex and get together.
Yeah.
That's literally the plot of every romance novel.
Yeah.
But I guess we can do, like, a quick explainer for Twitch. This is our first live stream on Twitch. It is not by far our first live stream. I think I have done hundreds of live streams at this point on YouTube.
Yeah.
But book club is something that we have been doing for quite a while, that Bae and I have been doing for quite a while.
Over 2 years now, probably closer to 3 years now.
Yeah. And Addie joined us when we started doing House of Night, and she joined us about halfway through. And ever since, she has been on board for Bad Book Club weeks.
I freaking love it. I love every minute of it.
Which, to be fair, this is her first non-House.
This is my first non-House of Night book. I'm so excited to be here and not fucking talking about Zoe Redbird.
Yes, because also did you talk to Addie last week about what we realized about why House of Night was so draining?
Oh no, I didn't.
So it dawned on us last week why House of Night was so exhausting, or a big reason why. And it's because you know how, like, even if it's a book that has a lot of shit happening, they still have their downtime, they still have their fun, they still have a break, they still have their chats.
Because there's no downtime in House of Night.
From the plot, there is literally no downtime from, I think, like book 4 to the end. There's no downtime. And when they try to do the side chats to try and break the tension,
it's just pop culture references.
They work it into, they're like I think the example I gave last week, this isn't actually a thing that happened in it, but it was a good hypothetical conversation that could have happened, and I'm surprised didn't. I was like, we need to stop Nephra before she slits all of our throats. And then Jack chimes in with, yeah, because then our shirts would get our white shirts would get all red and be dyed crimson, like that horrible dress on Project Runway. Oh my God, I love Project Runway, don't you? Yes, I do. And then we talk about Project Runway for 5 minutes. It's like, no, we're in the middle of a conversation. We're busy. But that's how they try and shoehorn the breaks in.
Yeah.
Instead of cutting the break.
Yeah, we had like a big talk about like pacing and how pacing is like, you know, action, rest, like action, like
yeah, and you need that rest.
Yeah, and so like, and so like House of Night doesn't have that. It just has like even when nothing's happening, it's just like tense the whole time. Yeah, that's what we talked about. But in any case, so for Twitch, Addie and I are both published authors. Addie and I write a series together called Blackwoods. I also have a solo series called the Rosalie Watson series. We both have 2 books published
together, and then she has 2 separate. So 4 for her. Just for me.
Yeah, and then Bae is also in the middle of working on her own series. So
yes, I've been trying to work on it for I think close to 3 years now, but I was pregnant with my second kid when I started, and life just got too busy.
Yeah.
But I've had the time recently to put some more work into it. So fingers crossed sometime in the next decade, the first one.
2020 is almost here.
So we're all writers,
yes,
/ authors in various stages of publication. And
I think I speak for all of us when we have classical training in books and like just grammar and structures, and like we're all seasoned readers, and so it's like we know what a good book is at this point. Like and yeah, so I know like the Rosalie Watson series is also got 2 audiobooks for that. Blackwoods, the beginning, the first book in the Blackwood series. That audiobook will be coming out in February. And it's freaking awesome.
It is so good.
The guy's voice is amazing.
Oh, it is so good.
Kieran he's so good. It's such Kieran's a good job.
Amazing.
It's amazing. So we're very excited about that. And yeah, that's who we are. That's what we do. And we just decided to see if the dual streaming on Twitch worked, and it didn't blow up in our faces.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes,
and then like we hinted at it before, but I'll just explicitly state it as well. So for book club, I think we definitely like definitively established this either during our first Jenny binge, or I think we formalized it for House of Night, where we do good book week and bad book week, but it was happening unofficially before then.
Yeah.
We need the good books to keep our sanity while we do the bad book series, because some of the series, especially House of Night, when you include the novellas and the second series, that was 20 books long. 20?
Wait, the House of Night?
Yeah, or 19.
It was 19 books.
20, yeah, 18 or 19.
So, yeah, if we had just done literally a half year straight of House of Night with nothing else, we would not be here today.
Nope.
We would not.
But also, I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't think we want to do another 19-book bad book series. Or another 19-book series in general.
It's just too much.
I mean, like, then again, I don't know. Like, if Mercy Thompson went on for 19 books, I think we'd do it. But at this point, we're doing it, like, by release. So we're caught up enough that we're gooch.
Yeah, like, I think if we've been doing book clubs since 2009 when House of Night came out, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But the fact that, because I had to binge all of them since August. So I've read all 19 House of Night books within the past 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And
she's not okay.
No, so like if those of you who haven't seen the final House of Night one that we did, even though the series isn't over, there's still one more book coming out next year. If you want to see the moment where my sanity broke, it's very funny. It's hilarious.
I wish I had filmed it, like you just losing your shit.
Essentially, what happened is it was a school chant, and where it was like, "Go in hard, come out wet, RAVENS." And she was here, and because we all live in different places, she was SGA was actually here, and I just sat here and I was just crying. I was laughing and crying, and she was like, "Are you okay? Like, what do I need to do?" And I was like,
she was just like, "There's nothing you can
There's
do."
nothing to do.
And I was like,
my sanity's gone.
I was like, she's gonna die. I'm gonna be in an apartment in Colombia with a dead body and a shopping cart. Like,
and
what am I gonna, and a cat? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna explain this?
Yep. The last book was awful as well, because then there was also a segment of the book where I had to mute you two while you read it.
Yeah, like if y'all want to really get a sense of what book club's about, all of the streams, at least recently, are on Teresa J. Martin on YouTube. If you just want to get a feel for like what the hell is happening here, for further introduction.
And the rest of all of our earlier streams at some point will be moved over to that channel as well.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'm working on that as well. And
no, we will not be doing a 50-book series.
Yeah, no
50-book
series.
As far as other series go, I have also made, just as far as like book club updates, we're just gonna go ahead and do some of those right now, because we do have some other ones that we'll announce soon, but some of the ones that we can announce, I have made us a spreadsheet of the series that we plan to do.
Like a saint.
Yeah, and I still need to check that out and add some more stuff in, because there's some stuff that was on our original spreadsheet that isn't on there. So I need to add those in as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this for 40 years, guys.
The list of books that we have is extensive. And of course, if you guys have suggestions, any books that you want us to check out.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I will say as well, just in general, like we don't, like it's not a rule that we should only strictly do these, but I think it's just due to our own personal preferences that we tend towards this genre, but we do tend to do more urban fantasy than anything else. Even though this book wasn't urban fantasy, like I said, we don't exclusively do it, but we do generally trend towards that.
Yep. Yeah, we tend to, and I think we all tend to enjoy urban fantasy, or fantasy. Sci-fi is usually not my thing, but I think we'd all.
It can work depending on the series.
Yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions at all, obviously toss them in there. We just have so many books that we have on our lists. So how we're going to tackle them, we've thrown out a lot of options for each other, and we will probably explore all of the ways we can do it depending on timing and all that kind of stuff. So the things we've talked about doing are doing power weeks, and then possibly over the summer, if we all line up right and get the time, possibly doing a power month. Yep. So we will update you guys on that over on my Twitter and on their Twitters. We will keep you guys updated. So, and we'll obviously announce it in the streams if we're going to do that. So yeah, we might be doing power week. So if it's like a short trilogy or something, we might just knock it out in a week, because that that could just cross something off a list, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a large spreadsheet.
Yes, we have big plans. We have lots and lots of books, and just every so often as well, it's like, and then often as well, we'll find as soon as we're like, oh, I also have an idea for a series we can do, and then somehow that one series suggestion turns into a conversation where we add in 5 more.
Yep.
Yeah, because we also have done things, like with Rochelle Mead, where because of how interesting we found the comparisons between Rochelle Mead, Jenny, and the casts, we were like, let's just go through Rochelle Mead's entire library. Oh God, what have we done?
Yeah, like we're gonna end up eventually
She's
doing
such a
all
good
of
author,
PCs.
I love Rochelle Mead. Yes, and Kristen has her own book as well, or series. I don't know if it's a single book or a series. But
It's a series. It's in the spreadsheet.
Me?
No, so we're gonna be doing the whole cast bibliography from both of them at
God.
some point.
At some point.
Yeah, because we are going to take a
roughly they're
solid
all
break from the
shorter.
cast.
Yeah, they're all shorter series though, and I think we'll only do one series at a time with a different bad book series, minimum 1 in between.
Yeah, which I think we already have kind of figured out what we're going to do for our nice big chunk of break between cast and cast.
Yes. House of Night Colors.
Yeah, it will be a long time before we revisit the cast, because I don't think any of us are mentally prepared for that, but it is on the list eventually, and we will be letting you guys know how you can find out about what we are doing next solidly very soon. But for now, that is all the housekeeping.
Yeah.
And we're happy to be also over on Twitch, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay,
Bye, guys.